The Common Language Runtime is an execution environment for your .NET applications. That means it is the CLR that is responsible for bringing your application to life and managing it while it executes, and it's also the runtime's job to tear down your application when it's finished executing or if it has an unrecoverable error. Here are some of the services the CLR provides when it is managing your application. One is memory management, so the CLR is actively tracking all of the objects and all of the memory that you are requesting to do work. And it knows when you are finished with those objects and when you are finished with that memory, and it'll clean things up for you so that your program continues to have enough memory as it keeps executing. The CLR is also responsible for security. There are some scenarios where your application has to operate inside of a very strict sandbox, so it's not allowed access to certain areas of the file system. It's the CLR that is going to enforce certain security policies on your application. The CLR is also going to make sure that your application doesn't try to read or write memory that doesn't belong to your application. In many ways, the CLR is like a virtual machine. It virtualizes your execution environment, so you do not need to worry about what version of the operating system that your application is executing on. You don't need to worry about the specific CPU that is installed on the machine, or how many cores it has, or what instruction set is available. The CLR will take care of all those things and make sure that your application executes correctly. We call it the Common Language Runtime because the CLR is independent of the language that you use to write .NET applications. You can write them in C#, but you can also write them in Visual Basic, or F#, or IronPython, or Iron Ruby. Those are all .NET applications. They're all going to be managed by the same CLR. The CLR is available for pretty much every version of Windows since Windows XP. It also runs on mobile phones. That's a special version of the CLR. It's not the same version of the CLR that runs on the desktop machine. And there's another special version of the Common Language Runtime that is used by Microsoft Silverlight. Silverlight applications run inside of a web browser, and that version of the CLR will work on both Windows machines and also on Apple machines that are using Intel CPUs.